Stella and Grace had been best friends for as long as they could remember. Grace had never been married, having endured several failed relationships, while Stella was a widow, having lost her husband to an illness. Devastated by her loss, Stella poured all her love and attention into her only son, Max. At 20, Max was a brilliant software programmer, earning thousands of dollars monthly through remote work. He was mature, responsible, and carried himself with confidence beyond his years. When Stella received an unexpected business opportunity requiring her to travel abroad for a month, she left Max alone. During her absence, Grace frequently visited, checking in on Max, cooking for him, and keeping him company. However, the more time she spent with him, the more she saw him differently. Max was no longer the little boy she had once known. He had grown into a handsome, intelligent, and charismatic young man. He was funny, kind, and always made her feel special. One evening, as they sat on the balcony, sipping fruit juice and laughing, Max turned to Grace and said, "You know, Grace, you're one of the coolest women I've ever met." Grace chuckled. "Oh, please, Max, don't flatter me. I'm serious," he insisted. "You understand me in ways most people don't. I like that about you." Grace felt a flutter in her stomach. She knew she shouldn't be feeling this way, but Max was different. So different from the men who had hurt her before. Their bond deepened when Max took Grace shopping at an exclusive mall in Victoria Island. He insisted on buying her designer dresses and accessories. "Max, I can't let you spend all this money on me," Grace protested, holding a handbag he had just purchased for her. "Why not?" Max grinned. "I have more than enough, and I want to make you happy." Grace gazed at him, her heart pounding. No man had ever treated her with such care. That night, during dinner at a fancy restaurant, reality struck. "Max," Grace whispered, playing with the rim of her wine glass, "what if your mom finds out about us?" Max shrugged. "Why should we hide it? There's nothing wrong with her knowing." Grace sighed. "I don't know. I've been friends with your mom all my life. I just hope she supports us." Max reached for her hand, squeezing it gently. "Grace, I care about you. This isn't a game for me. I love you." That night, as Grace sat alone on her couch, her emotions overwhelmed her. "How did I let myself fall in love with someone so much younger? He's just 20, and I'm 35. But he makes me feel special. I love him." Weeks later, Stella returned from her trip. As Max drove her home, she noticed him smiling to himself. "Why are you smiling like that?" she asked suspiciously. "Nothing, Mom," Max replied quickly. But the truth was, he was thinking about Grace. Months later, Grace discovered she was pregnant. They had managed to keep their relationship a secret until one fateful evening. Stella decided to surprise Max with a visit. She knocked on the door, unaware that inside, Grace was with Max. Max opened the door and froze. "Mom, you didn't tell me you were coming." "Do I need permission to visit my own son?" Stella asked, stepping inside. Her eyes landed on Grace, and her face twisted in shock. "Grace? What's going on here? And why are you dressed like this?" Grace took a deep breath, stepping closer to Max. "Stella, we have something to tell you." "Mom, Grace and I are in a relationship," Max said firmly. Stella's mouth fell open. "Tell me you're joking." "We're not joking, Mom. We love each other, and we plan to get married." Stella shook her head in disbelief. "Grace, are you seriously telling me you're in a relationship with my son?" Her voice wavered between anger and pain. "Stella, I wanted to tell you." "When? After it was too late?" Stella cut her off. "This is unacceptable. Grace, you've had all these years to find a man, and you choose my son? If you want to keep our friendship, you'll end this nonsense." The next morning, Max sat in silence, deep in thought. Grace sat beside him. "Are you okay?" "I'm going to talk to Mom today. I need to sort this out," Max said. That evening, he arrived at his mother's house, ready to fight for his love. "Mom, please try to understand. This is my life. I love Grace." Stella sighed. "Max, this isn't just about love. There's something you don't know. Your father and his best friend had an agreement years ago. Their dream was to unite our families through marriage. Before your father died, he made me promise that you would marry Amina, his friend's daughter. That was his last wish." Max's eyes widened. "Mom, how could you not tell me this before? I planned to tell you after my trip, but then I found out about you and Grace." Max, you were meant to marry Amina to honor your father's legacy. Max clenched his fists. Mom, I'm not a business deal. I have the right to choose who I marry. Amina is beautiful, successful, and she has a big behind. You'll love her, Stella pleaded. I don't care. I love Grace. Nothing will change that. Max, please, do this for your father. No, Mom. My happiness matters too. Frustrated, Max stormed out. As he sped down the highway, his mind raced with anger and emotions. Then, in an instant, everything changed. Blinding headlights, a deafening crash. His car spun out of control, flipping before landing upside down. By the time help arrived, it was too late. Max was gone. Max. Parents, what did you learn from this story? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe.